Hey everybody, it's Caesar.
And I'm Carla.
And welcome to another episode of Carla and Caesar's Modern Life.
Episode number 38.
Hell yeah, 38.
I'm feeling great.
That's right. 38.
I feel like anytime an episode ends with an 8,
you gotta say
just
it.
have to do it.
You
Yeah.
have to say feeling great. We've had a great week. Before we tell you about that, just remember to like and share this video. If you like it, we already know you're gonna like it, so just do it right now.
Might as well.
Subscribe to the channel if you don't subscribe already, and enjoy everything else we got going on. So how was your week?
Good. Nothing out of the ordinary so far. I mean, kind of. We went to see some live music this weekend. And that was pretty cool. In like the events and like things we've been watching lately, we've been noticing like a common like reoccurring theme, yeah, of like self-love and like self-care and like realizing your worth, basically, including that event we went to.
Yeah, so before that though, you said you had already heard that word. Did you first hear it before?
I mean, all my books that I'm listening to at the moment, they're still all like, either if they're memoirs, like they're usually something related to like that, or if they're a self-help book, it's usually something along the lines of that topic.
Yeah, so you were already like learning about that topic, or like, you know, that was being reinforced. And then we went to go see Noa James on Friday. Noa James is a talented artist from the IE, but he's not just he's all over the place. He has the number 6 album or 4 album on iTunes. He's been on the show a few times, and he has been opening up pop-up shops of his merch from the Be Majestic brand. And he had an event in Fullerton where he had a few people perform, including himself. He was a headliner, and Spiffy Green, who's Specs and Hippie C, and Cam Gnarly, and a lot of great people. So we went to go check that out, so the Noa James performance was really great.
Really good.
All of them were good, but
yeah, everyone was so good. But yeah, his message is just so beautiful, and like his voice and like the way he delivers his lyrics is like just so powerful, and like you can't help but like just love him and like just appreciate like the energy that he's putting out. And yeah, like
even if you've never heard any of his songs, like you're just being there, and you can the energy just there's people there. They obviously were there for him because it was his event, but some people probably like heard he's singing for the first time, like you, where you're like, holy shit. Like, and even me, like when he performs at the studio, you feel it, and then the time passes, and then you see him again, you're like, holy shit. There's a reason that guy is at the success level that he is, because that's his whole thing was he'll like be very motivational in between his songs, and he'll talk about what the songs mean in the middle of doing the songs. Like the song where it was like the romantic song, and he was talking about how he has to, love himself before he can. What was it? Do you want to talk about that? Like,
not necessarily.
Well, I think I was gonna give you the example where he was like saying like how you have to fill your cup first, because then all the love you get.
Yeah. We did talk about this.
Yeah, all the love you get overflows like in addition to that, but you have to do the first part, which is fill your own cup.
Yeah.
And so that was a cool message, and it really resonates,
Absolutely. Yeah, and it felt really good to repeat back his lyrics of "I am worthy."
Oh yeah.
Like at the top of your lungs. That felt so nice. So thank you, Noa James, for that.
Yeah, and if anybody, like if you we do the shadow work stuff, he has a song basically dedicated to shadow work, which is really cool. Yeah, shout out Noa James, and then shout out Spiffy Green too, who are the people that...
Spiffy! I almost said it into the microphone.
That's right. Yeah, they just dropped their new project, so we were really looking forward to seeing them too live, and we're gonna be doing some more stuff with them, so I'm excited because that project is really good. I don't know, I mean, if you guys don't listen to Rodriguez show, the Spiffy Green project is just look it up. It's Spiffy Green the way it sounds, one word. And it's Melod Thing, produced by Melod Thing, who's a great, talented guy from LA. And then Hippie C and Specs are the people that rap on it, and they're from Orange County, and it's like one of my favorite projects of the year. Really if we talk about people on this show, like Eric Young, and like, like it's stamp of approval, because it's like, I listen to them in my day-to-day life, like in Kid Vista 2 and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of, like, I was thinking about that. I don't want to get off on a too much of a tangent, but it's like, at first, like, it was hard to get into the music here when I first started doing it, listening to artists. I was like, I don't know, like, but then as I started interviewing people, and as their music started getting better and better, now it's like, oh damn, like yeah, like all my friends make great music.
Yeah, it's true.
And like I can enjoy it as much as I enjoy like anything else. Like it's great.
Yeah.
And it's also the idea of like we have go to these events and like support these artists because it's like genuinely we want to see them. And that's not always the case where people, not, I'm not trying to trash talk or anything, but it's like you just kind of like, oh yeah, like I could have just interviewed them and like not go and support them, but I really enjoy them, and that's cool. Like that's what people should be doing, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, and like you're saying, it's great to see people progress, evolve throughout the years. Yeah. I think the first people that I got into was Apollo Bebop, and then after that, like it was like just so many more people came out of nowhere. Not nowhere because they've been doing it.
But you discovered them. To you, it was like, oh crap! Like where was I for all this? You know? That's how I feel too sometimes. Yeah, Weapons of Mass Creation, who we're going to see this weekend as well. Another great group. So on Saturday night, we went to an event that was put on by my friends Anam and Arshi. And I guess I was helping them put it on too because I provided the sound. I was able to borrow some equipment from Hits 101 Radio and from Mondo, and I was there working the audio engineering for them. So just making sure like everything was sounding good, and I recorded it for them. And so essentially what it was like a storytelling event, but it was also kind of like a community discussion. So like whoever was able to come attend, it was this past Saturday. What were the exercises? Like they would give you writing prompts, like little, and then you.
Yeah, it was really cool. I got to participate. I thought I was just gonna be hanging out with you for the most part, but they were gracious enough to Anam and Arshi were super welcoming, and they were encouraging me to participate in the exercises. Which I don't think I actually, now that I think about it, I don't think I had ever participated anything like it before. Like in that you're like doing it to yourself, where it's like usually if like you have to like do a mixer, it's because you're kind of forced to do it in the settings that I've done it. I'm sure that's not the case for a lot of people.
You're doing it in terms of like team building, like for stuff like that. But this was, but also the way that it was pitched, I didn't think that we were going to do that. But that was the cool part about it.
We knew that it was a storytelling event.
Yeah, it was just an event for people to tell spoken word pieces or like just share stories about their lives in front of other people, like in a group. And so, but what they ended up doing was they wanted people to get comfortable with each other to be able to share. Yeah. So then they did all these icebreaker activities. But the questions on those cards that they gave people to pass around and ask each other, they were like deeper questions than just like random stuff. Like it was like your greatest accomplishment or like the last time you were scared, stuff like that. So you could really start opening up to people right away.
Yeah, and it wasn't like random or out of nowhere, because Archie talked about how she got inspiration to do this, to put this on. And it's like, oh yeah, like storytelling is really cool. And it like she did a really good job of like setting the tone for the evening. And everyone that was there was like the perfect candidate for like doing something like this with, because everyone was just so open to it. And yeah, it was just great to meet new people and to just put myself out there in a different way.
Yeah, it was cool to be social in that sense. Like, I mean, and then if there's enough gatherings where it's like you keep going back again, like you could make some new friends that you could hang out with. And so so the way, just to explain the event. So after the icebreaker activities, there was like another exercise. What was the other exercise?
There were cards that, well, I guess that was the icebreaker. There were cards with questions on them. And so each person got one. And then you would ask each other questions, swap, and then go ask somebody else the question that you initially were asked. And then we got into 3 different groups. And in the 3 different groups, we were asked to describe ourselves without talking about our jobs. And then the same exercise, second part of it, we were asked to explain what our jobs are, or
or share like something you really wanted to share or something like that.
Like if you happen to have something that you held back because you weren't allowed to talk about your job, Yeah, that's what it was. And then my group, we did it kind of differently, where we, instead of doing that, we kind of, based on what each person's own description of themselves was, we tried to guess what their job was. So that was pretty cool. People guessed for me therapist or counselor.
Yeah.
And I was like, kind of, like when I talk to like people at the register at work,
Yeah.
it kind of feels like that a little bit, but I like it.
Yeah.
So that was cool. And then I think the third part was finally the storytelling. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and there was only a few people that had planned to tell stories.
Yeah,
but
they hoped people would like, yeah.
Yeah, they kept throwing out there like, hey, like if you change your mind, like if you want to be, and so.
And I kept looking at me, and I was like, no, like, I'm good. I just don't. I'm getting better at it. Like maybe next time I would share, but I would have to prepare it ahead of time.
Plus, if you like went more often to improv, you probably feel more comfortable like being in front of an audience or like people looking at you like that.
Yeah. I just get nervous and I start rambling, so I just don't.
So the stories people would share, like examples would be like, the first person we're talking about how she wanted to open up, tell her mom that she found an apartment because she wanted to live on her own because living at home was getting a little unbearable because of the expectations her parents had for her to, take care of a lot of stuff that they could do, like she didn't need to help people with, like take care of the rest of her family.
Yeah.
So then she like talking about how she was nervous to like after she's like decided like I'm moving out, she didn't want to tell anybody. And she finally told her mom, and her mom reacted in a positive way and gave her a hug and said she was proud of her. So it was like that was her moment of joy because the theme was, tell your stories of joy. Sorry, we are all over the place. It's because our mind was racing because I was trying to make sure that everything was running smoothly. Yeah. And there's a lot to remember that just comes back to you when you're discussing it.
Exactly. Yeah, we're kind of improvising today. We didn't have any notes.
We're not. Yeah, just so you know, if you couldn't tell already. So the idea of the event was your story of joy, and so people kept sharing their stories of joy. And and I didn't expect to tell mine, but I did. And I have a story that I told last week on the show about me and Mondo both realizing that we had a great moment at the Halloween party, and it was a moment of joy because we were both so proud of each other.
And it happened for you guys at the same time.
Yeah, and we didn't even know. Cool. We were both had the same moment because he was on the other stage and I was on the floor watching the same group, but we were just super distant, and we just happened to be in the same wavelength. And I'm actually
so cool
gonna put that up because Anam sent me the video of it and I have the audio, so I'm gonna put that up as a reel.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
I think it'd be cool.
Yeah.
So that was the last part, and a lot of people shared stories that were really great. And then at the end, it was just like a story that you wrote, which I interpreted as a survey of the event, but it actually was because it was like it was a paper that just said I smiled when blank, and I thought it was like I smiled when something at this event happened. So people said. But some people were like, I smiled the other day when my kid made me laugh or something like that. Yeah. And at the end, then we put them up on like a board. And so it was great. Yeah. I would definitely go back.
Same here. And then there were snacks and what else? Music put on by you, which was really good. And the cafe that they chose was super cute. The cafe wasn't open, but...
Yeah, they rented out the space. Yeah, the music, they had only given me 5 songs, and then that day I improvised a playlist. But
and it was great.
It worked out. Yeah, so if you're in the Orange County area and you're interested in going to these events, because there's going to be at least one a month, they said, in Orange County, and then, in Southern California, you can follow them on Instagram at ThePotLuckPresents, at ThePotLuckPresents, and you'll see my face because they posted me on there. Nice. But shout out to Anam and Archie. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. I'm basically like a sponsor because I provided the sound, or the show is. So, yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me participate. Are you ready to do the scenarios?
Yes, I am. Before that, we have to tell people to follow us online. Follow me at I am Caesar Rod. On Twitter and Instagram, where can they follow you?
On Instagram at CarlaLaRod89, and on my plant page, Plant Parenthood OC. All
right. So let's do it. Scenario time. Here's the first scenario.
Go for it.
Am I the asshole for telling my wife that leaving her pad in my brother's place was inappropriate? My wife and I were invited to my brother's 31st birthday. He's single and lives alone in his apartment. So to give you a heads up, my wife and him don't get along so well, but can be civil enough to sit at the same table. So we went and had dinner and talked about everything, and it was going well. We talked about stuff and it was going well. No arguments and nothing until after my wife went to use the bathroom. Later, my brother went to use the bathroom, then came back looking pissed. He kept giving me and my wife looks, but I didn't know what was going on until he pulled me aside before we left and told me that my wife had left her used pad in his bathroom. I was shocked. I was shocked. Didn't know what to say because this felt highly inappropriate. He said he didn't appreciate what my wife did, and it was a sign of disrespect towards him. I apologized profoundly and said I didn't know about it. He asked me to speak to her, or she wouldn't be welcome in his place anymore. We got into the car, and I asked my wife about it. She nonchalantly said there was nothing wrong with what she did, and that my brother was being ridiculous. I kind of flipped and told her it was very inappropriate of her to leave her used pad in his place, even if it was in the bathroom and in the trash can, because it made him uncomfortable.
Oh my God.
She yelled, asking what was she supposed to do, and I told her she could have took it with her and threw it out outside and not in his bathroom. That's my brother's place, and he told me how he felt about it. She yelled at me, calling my brother an incel and me an asshole for getting in her face about it. She said she needed to use the bathroom, and it's not like the pad was visible since she dumped it in the trash can. At home, we still argued about it, and she kept calling me and my brother names. She's currently not speaking to me and avoiding me entirely. Regardless, I feel like it's his place, and he gets to express what makes him uncomfortable.
Men are idiots. I'm sorry. What? Take it outside with you?
Yeah, you expect her
like
to
you're just supposed to carry around your trash with you. Like what? I was watching a video earlier today on probably Instagram, and it was this lady going around and asking guys about like, oh, the question was how many tampons do women go through? And people were giving like, they were saying one. Some people were saying, I don't know, but all the answers were way off. And I'm like, wow, like it doesn't take that much to educate yourself. Yeah. And like, it's, what? Like, it's not a gross thing. Like, no. Why is that a gross thing? Like,
it's not, it's just, and if asking somebody to pick it up is a gross thing. And say, it's like you might as well be, you know, like,
which she was not
human
trying to
remains.
do.
It's human excrement or whatever it is. Like it's coming out of your body. You don't want to take like it's in the bathroom.
And they're not. Yeah, exactly. Like they're not asking you to touch it or like interact with it. Like, anyways, what was the question? Is the
husband an asshole?
Yes, sir. You
and the
are
brother is too.
An idiot and an asshole.
I mean, Reddit said post locked due to excessive uncivil comments.
That's so funny. Like, what is he gonna do when he has a girlfriend?
I don't know. I don't think he knows. I think these people are just ignorant, like you said. Like they don't know that like how that even works. They're just like, oh, ew, icky.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so for this one, this lady is asking about whether she's the asshole in asking her boyfriend to switch dishes with her when she orders at restaurants that have like, say, I don't know, exotic foods is how they described it. And she was saying that her boyfriend, because he doesn't want to like stress himself out, if it's a menu he doesn't recognize, he'll just go for like a plain cheeseburger and fries. That's like his go-to because he doesn't want to have to put that much thought into it. But she likes to try like new food, but it's not always good. So in those cases, she'll ask him if he's down to switch, and he'll always say yes. But then finally he said no, and he was like, you always insist that I switch with you. And she was like, no, I never do insist. Like I'm just asking, and like you're allowed to say no. But he basically told her that he needed a break. And so now she's single and wondering if she's a jerk for doing that.
I don't know. I mean, that's tough.
Yeah, it is.
Well, she was just trying to open up his horizons.
Maybe, but like, why would you do that to someone who like is the type of person who would rather just eat a plain cheeseburger instead of having to like think about it? Like if they already have that in mind, Like, how could you ever like be comfortable eating your food when you might not be able to like enjoy it all, you know? But at the same time, like, how did he not know that it was okay to say no?
Yeah, like I think they both. I don't think they're right for each other in
Yeah.
that sense because they're both trying to like fix the other person or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, it's just they're being manipulating.
I guess. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I agree. So I wouldn't say that you're an asshole, but yeah, just figure out your shit and order food that you're gonna eat.
All right, so let's get into the final scenario here. You ready? All right. Am I the asshole for going to my best friend's wedding instead of my wife's birthday party? My wife is turning 30 and has planned a big birthday party with her friends and family. Unfortunately, my best friend had also got his wedding on the same evening. I have picked my best friend's wedding as we are very close and I did not get along with my wife's family. My wife is now furious with me and demanding that I do not go to the wedding, but I can't go back on the commitment I made to my best friend. So am I the asshole for going to the wedding anyway? The extra info, the birthday has been planned for a few months now. Invites have been sent and the venue is booked. I got the wedding invite this week. Oh.
That changes things.
Everything. Yeah, I thought it would be the other way around because how long does it take to plan a wedding versus a birthday party?
And what if you were like an afterthought at the wedding and like, oh, you can come like at the last minute or no?
I don't know because I feel like there's more information than needs. Okay, let's for I guess for our own sake, so we can like decide, right? Let's say that they're both like 2 months away or something, but that's still weird because, well, how did that happen? How did he plan his wedding sooner than the wife planning a 30th birthday party? Maybe she planned it a year in advance, and they planned the wedding 6 months in advance. I don't know.
I think he said a few months or a couple months, but I feel like.
Yeah, birthday.
Did you just decide to like get married at like spur of the moment or like, I mean, yeah, I don't know how that happens. Because if you just got invited at the last minute, like for you to drop something that you've been planning on attending for months now to just be like, oh, okay, yeah, like let me drop everything and like do that, like then that's wrong. Yeah. But I can kind of understand, like, if your friend is a spontaneous person and they're like, yeah, like, we just decided and, like...
We're going to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I can understand that.
Because, yeah, if your friend is that kind of person and the wedding is a spur-of-the-moment thing...
And you don't like your wife's family, it's, like, an easy out.
Yeah, and I think it's possible to go to both, but I mean, maybe it's not possible because of maybe the locations. But, yeah, like, I don't see how... Yeah, I don't think you're the asshole.
I don't either.
Because it's not about even getting along with the wife's family or not. It's like she has to understand too. Like, yeah, this is a big moment for you, but it's also a big moment for you. Like, it's a big. It's, yeah. How do you compare a birthday to a wedding? I wonder which birthday
it is. Do you know?
30th.
30th. Oh yeah, that's a big one.
That's why.
Dang.
And she has a venue for it.
Yeah. That was pretty elaborate. Yeah. For this one, I'm gonna say, because I was gonna say you're the asshole, but you're not.
No, I understand. Like,
I know,
but because it's your best friend. If it's really your best friend, but it's like if it was your best friend, they would have made you the best man. No, maybe that's what he's saying. Commitment.
Yeah.
Maybe he is the best man.
Dang.
We're stumped on this one.
I'm going to say your friend would probably understand if you missed his wedding.
Yeah. I think if you had to choose one.
Yeah.
I think that one's the one to go. Because if the birthday was booked first, then that's the important one. So yeah, you are, I guess, then you made the wrong choice. You're not the asshole, but at the same time, like, their commitment, you made a commitment first.
Might be off. Mm-hmm. Dang, that was a tough one. That was a good one.
So the top comment, I guess if you want to be divorced, it's fine to go to the wedding.
That's funny.
So yeah, that was it. That was our 3 scenarios, and that was our episode for this week. How do you feel?
That was fun. Good. I started out chilly, hence my scarf. Now I feel good. My neck's feeling better. Earlier, I had to put on a icy hot patch on my neck for slept on it wrong, I guess. It's feeling good.
Great.
How do you feel?
I feel good. Yeah, I was a little nervous because we didn't have an outline, but we made it work. It was a fun one.
Yeah.
So yeah, like we said, like this video, subscribe to the channel if you can, comment. We do reactions. Let us know if you would like us to react to something. And
We appreciate all the feedback.
Nice. And that's it, guys. We'll see you next time. Remember to take care of yourself and each other.
Thanks for watching. Bye.